You type one sentence into your computer. Book me the cheapest flight to Tokyo next Friday. Then you get up and make a coffee. And when you come back, it's done. There's a confirmation email sitting in your inbox. But here's the unsettling part. Nobody touched the mouse. Nobody typed anything. The cursor moved across the screen, opened a browser, filled in the dates, compared prices, and clicked buy. All by itself. That's an AI agent. And in 2026, they're suddenly everywhere. So how does a chatbot go from just talking to actually reaching into your computer and clicking buttons like a tiny invisible employee? Let's break it down. First, we need one crucial distinction, because this trips everyone up. A normal chatbot only talks. You ask it something, it answers, and that's the end. It's a brain in a jar. An agent is that same brain, but you've handed it a mouse, a keyboard, and a goal, and told it, don't just tell me how, go do it. The difference isn't intelligence. It's permission to act. But that raises an obvious problem. The AI is not a person. It has no eyes to see your screen, and no hand to move your mouse. So how does it actually do anything? The answer is a loop. A simple, four-step loop that it runs over and over, incredibly fast, until the job is done. Look, think, act, check. Then do it again. Step 1. Look. The agent cannot see your screen the way you do. So the computer takes a screenshot, a flat picture of whatever is on the display right now, and hands it to the AI. Sometimes it gets something even more useful, a hidden text list of every button, box, and link on the page, the same map that screen readers use for blind users. Either way, the agent starts each turn by asking one question. What's in front of me right now? Step 2. Think. This is where the big AI brain, the language model, does its work. It's holding three things at once. The goal you gave it, book the flight. A memory of what it's already done. And that fresh snapshot of the screen. And from all of that, it decides just one thing. What is the single next move? Not the whole plan. Just the very next click. It literally reasons it out, like a person muttering to themselves. Okay, there's a date field. I need next Friday. I should click that field first. Step 3. Act. Now the agent has decided, but it still can't physically move anything. So instead, it writes a command. A tiny, precise instruction like, click at position 640, 300. Or, type the words, Tokyo. A small piece of software is standing by, listening for exactly these commands, and it obeys, moving the real mouse to that exact spot and clicking. That ghostly cursor you'd see gliding across the screen? That's this step, happening for real. Step 4. Check. And this is the step that separates a real agent from a toy. After it acts, it does not just assume it worked. It takes another screenshot and looks again. Did the date actually change? Did a menu pop up? Did an error appear? It compares what happened to what it expected. And then, the whole thing loops. Look, think, act, check. Look, think, act, check. Dozens, sometimes hundreds of times, each cycle nudging one step closer to done. You made one request. Behind the scenes, the agent had 100 tiny conversations with the screen. Now, clicking buttons is just the beginning. Because the same loop lets the agent reach for tools. Instead of clumsily clicking around a website, it can call a tool directly. Search the web. Run a piece of code. Look something up in a database. Send a message. Think of tools as superpowers you handed one at a time. And in 2026, there's a standard way to plug those tools in, so an agent can connect to your apps the same way a phone charger fits any outlet. The clever part? When it connects properly, the agent inherits your permissions. It can only touch what you're already allowed to touch, and nothing more. Here's why tools matter so much. To find your flight, a smart agent might not click around the airline's website at all.
Instead, it calls a flight search tool directly, hands it your dates, and gets back clean, organized data in an instant. Clicking buttons is really the fallback, for when there is no tool for the job. A good tool is a shortcut that skips the whole clumsy point-and-click dance entirely. There's one more ingredient that makes this feel alive. Memory. Without memory, the agent would take a screenshot, do one thing, and completely forget it a second later, like a goldfish trapped in a to-do list. So it keeps a running scratchpad of everything it's tried, so it doesn't book the same flight 4 times, or get stuck clicking the same broken button forever. But there's a catch. That scratchpad can only hold so much. Every screenshot, every step, every little note piles up, and the agent only has a limited window of attention. Push a task on long enough, and the earliest steps start falling off the back of its memory. Which is usually the exact moment a very confident agent quietly loses the plot. Which brings us to the fun part. When this goes wrong, it goes hilariously wrong. Because the agent only knows what's in that screenshot, it can hallucinate. It can become completely convinced there's a confirm button in the corner that simply isn't there, and click empty space with total confidence. It can misread a pop-up and click cancel instead of OK. And worst of all is the silent failure, where step 3 quietly does the wrong thing, but step 4 doesn't catch it, so the agent marches on, cheerfully building its next move on top of a mistake. One wrong click early, and 10 steps later it's confidently emailing your boss a picture of a cat. And it will do all of this without a flicker of doubt, because an agent has no gut feeling that something is off. It only has the screenshot in front of it, and a truly heroic amount of confidence. This is exactly why serious agents come with guardrails. A leash. For anything truly risky, like spending money, deleting files, or sending an email, a well-built agent is forced to stop and ask you first. Are you sure? Because reading a web page is easy to undo. Wiring somebody $500 is not. The golden rule is simple. The agent can look around all it wants on its own, but a human stays in the loop for anything it can't take back. The best systems make this trade on purpose. Let the agent read, browse, and draft freely, at full speed, but put a hard stop in front of the small handful of buttons that actually cost you something. So why is all of this happening right now, in 2026? Because the AI brains finally got good enough at that think step to chain dozens of actions together without falling apart. Analysts expect that by the end of this year, roughly 4 in 10 business apps will ship with a little task-specific agent built right in. The chatbot that only answered questions is quietly growing hands. So the next time you watch a cursor drift across your screen and do your busy work for you, you'll know it isn't magic, and it isn't really seeing anything. It's just running that same humble loop, faster than you ever could. Look at the screen. Think about the goal. Make one move. Check if it worked. Again and again and again, until your flight to Tokyo is booked, and your coffee is still warm. If you just learned something genuinely useful, hit subscribe. We break down the tech you use every day.